All right. Come on. Instagram. Working on it. It'll catch up. Maybe. Maybe. Hey, there we go. Oh, Instagram. It's so narrow. You can't even see the whole thing. Or can you? No. It's too zoomed in. Can I shrink it a little bit? Makes it small for everybody else. I'm accommodating you, Instagram, by shrinking this video feed. I think Instagram's ready to go live. All right, Instagram, welcome. I am going to be writing my. Why do I have feedback? Oh, two feedback areas. I'm working on my story. So I did this on my airplane ride back from Boston, and I was working on writing my story. So let's review what I've got. I used to be or work in a prison, but prison couldn't contain me. Ha ha. I was getting laid off and I didn't know what to do. Oh, so why did I even get into the prison in the first place? So this is part of my foundation. I didn't know what to do. So I went to prison. That's what everybody does. You don't know what to do, so I was getting laid off construction. That's such a fat text. This is what goes in the keynotes. That's my point. Okay. Laid off and didn't know what to do. I heard the prison. Sorry if it's too small for you to read. It's already zoomed in all the way. I got in on the last session of hires before a hiring freeze for 6 months. So that was a blessing. But then I got my introduction to prison, and it was not such a great place to be. Surprise! Anyway, so I am in prison as an employee, as a worker. And while I'm working there, kind of far in, it wasn't my favorite place to be. Okay. Kind of far in, my favorite book, the Bible, says in James 4:17, for him that knows the good he ought to do and does not do it, for him it is sin. I had a supervisor say, you can't say that. This is a prison. This is a government job. This is not a place to express yourself. Slow down. Other supervisors, slow down. Don't do anything special or different. I get why they say it. It's just that was the environment. So it's oppressive in prison. It's built to hold you down, to keep you in, to contain you. They said you can't be you in prison. But what does the good book say? It says, for him that knows the good he ought to do and does not do it, for him it is sin. It's sin. So what's a person supposed to do? Who are these people keeping me from confronting the issues facing us? Why can't I have the hard conversations? You can't do that. You can't say that. Who are you to say that I can't do this? Is what I felt. But in this environment, these people must say that. They don't have any choice. They have to be that way. And right then, I felt for my captain. I felt sorry for my captain. Shoot, he had to tell me that I can't post a Bible verse in my email signature in the prison. And so he's kind of trapped. And that's why I felt for him. He can't not say that. His whole career was the system, the prison system. So his retirement and his hopes and dreams were all chained to the system of chains, bars, walls, guards, the system of oppression. You're getting a fast forward on what I wrote on the airplane. Okay. It was at that moment when he said, and I remember his tone, his indignant tone, as if I was an offense, as if I need to sit down and shut up and do what he did, as if I should have known better, as if I were stupid. It was at that moment when he said, You can't do that. That I knew that I had to what? What did I have to do? Working at a prison, feeling oppressed, can't do what I'm supposed to do. I had to escape prison. That was when I knew I had to escape prison. Something inside me screamed, "Let me out." So, and this is practice for my speech. Who here has really been oppressed? Who's felt trapped? Maybe it's a job, maybe it's a deal or a relationship or a partnership, but you get stuck and you can't do what you really want to do. You can't do the good thing. You're stuck. Why? What does it feel like? What is your prison? Is there good that you know you ought to do, but you're trapped and unable to really do it? What is your prison? Hmm. You see, I'm thankful he told me to do that. I'm thankful not to do that. I'm thankful he told me that. That was a turning point for me. You want to know how I escaped prison? Because I knew that day I had to get out. I had plenty of reasons to go before, but I had enough reasons to stay. It paid fairly well for what it was, and it had great benefits. And I call that a black hole job. It is enough to suck you in and trap you, and you'll never get out. A lot of people, that's the way government jobs work. And they lose their fight, and they get offended if you have initiative. And it's based on seniority, not based on merit. The whole system is. It's broken because it can't be better. They can't show favoritism toward the people who care, the people who perform. All they can do is go by strict rules. So, how did I escape prison? For those of you just joining, I worked at a prison and I realized I needed to leave. Have you ever seen or heard something that you immediately knew was for you? Something you would need to act on? If you know what you want, but you don't know what it looks like, but you know that if you're looking for it, when you see it, you'll know it immediately. You'll identify it. Has that ever happened to you? Have you ever had something where I'm waiting on this thing to happen? Oh, that's it. I've got to act right now. I didn't know what this would look like, but you'll know it when you see it. I'm seeing it. I'm going to take action. If you've ever felt that, that's what happened to me in the prison. So that does happen to me. And sometimes I know what I want out loud, so to speak, right? I can verbalize it, but sometimes it's dormant. It's in the back of my mind. It's when I see it, I know it. But until then, I didn't know that's what I wanted. But I do want something, and I know there's this yearning or something along those lines. But when I see it, do I have what it takes to act? That is, in fact, how I found my wife, Molly. Love you. I wanted to start a family since I was 19, actually. I was on the hunt and I wasn't dating around. I was actually looking for a wife. I was looking to court. I had that clarity personally since I was 19. I knew I wanted kids within a marriage. So one day I saw Molly at church, and I'd seen her before, but it just dawned on me. And I leaned over to my friend and I said, "That's my next girlfriend." And do you know why I said that's my next girlfriend? It wasn't because I was a serial dater. I was just going to try an next person out, etc. Remember, I'm looking for a marriage partner here. We're not looking to hook up. We're looking to court and get engaged and get married and have kids. So why did I say girlfriend? Honestly, because I didn't have the balls to say that's my wife. But it was true nonetheless. And I'm happily married. I've got 4 beautiful children, ages 11, 7, 4, and 2. I live next door to my in-laws. Like that was the beginning of my future, my family future. How many years ago was that? My goodness. My oldest is 11. We got married 2 years before that, and 1 year before that, 2 years. I don't know. I don't know, babe. Sorry, I forgot the anniversary date. 2011, I think. It's been a while. So I'm in the prison, and someone mentions this IT boot camp, and it's like 4 months, and it's a career change in 6 months or less. The boot camp is 4 months. So my coworkers talked about it, and I was around, and guess what? I called that company the next day. And they came back in at night, the next night. We were working night shift. My coworkers talked about it again. Meanwhile, I went and took the entrance exam. I told them they should. I told them come with me. And they kept talking about it. My family said it might be a scam. Must be a scam. Like, you can't change careers and get all the certifications, and they're charging thousands of dollars for this. There's got to be a different way. Meanwhile, I got approved for financing. My coworkers didn't have the clarity that I did, and they weren't ready to act. I knew what I wanted at that time. I wanted out of prison. They wanted to change their scene. I was graduating by the time they entered the program. I paved the way. They saw the success I was having and made it safe. So I was a pathfinder. I was cutting a path, paving the way, whatever you want to say there. So in school, guess what? Because I had the clarity, I read the books. I read a 1,200-page book on Microsoft Active Directory. You think that was fun? No. I asked the questions of the staff. I applied myself. The teachers noticed and they said, Caleb is different. Guess what? That's because Caleb knew what he wanted. Caleb had clarity of vision, and that allows for clarity of purpose. And that purpose paves the way for action, and action is what sets you up for success. So, while I was in school, I got letters of recommendation from several of my past supervisors and IT teachers because guess what? I knew what I wanted. We go back to I had clarity of vision. That vision gives me clarity for purpose. My purpose gives me clarity for action, and taking action gives me sets me up for success. So I got testimonials basically from supervisors about, hey, Caleb is a great dude. And then I made a video resume. Remember, I knew what I wanted. I made a video resume to go with it. And then a job opportunity came out. I'm in this IT school. I'm trying to change my career, escaping prison, but I had missed the cutoff. I didn't see the job posting until it was too late. It was like 1 or 2 days late already. But I was ready and I was looking and I found what I needed. I knew that was the job for me. So I, oh, my speech is supposed to say, you guys, do you think that stopped me? No, because I knew what I wanted and I saw it. And so I reached out. No, it did not stop me. I sent the resume in with a cover letter and I called and I left a voicemail and I sent my video resume. And I got a call back. Do you know what he said? He said, you were too late. You missed the cutoff. When I picked up the phone, I said, hello, this is Caleb. Hey, this is Paul at Challenger. Hi, Paul. I have your resume here, but you were too late to turn it in. And I thought that was basically what the call was going to be. I thought it was he was dropping me off, and just saying, too bad, sorry you missed out. Just want to let you know we're not going to proceed any further. So I thought the call was done. And he said, but then I saw your video resume. I was really impressed. That was really cool and unique. So I took a second look at your resume, and I looked at your letters of reference, and I looked at your cover letter. Uh, I'm going to put you in for an interview. I want you to come in here. So I got the job, you guys. But I wasn't done with school. Now what? New problem. Good problem to have. I wasn't even supposed to be eligible for the job. I mean, you can apply early, but generally people don't take students. It was a 4-month school, so it's not too bad. So I doubled up and I took both day and night classes to finish up the rest of that school in like 3 weeks ahead of schedule. And that changed my life. I got out of prison. And when I got out of the prison system, where they don't let you be yourself, where they don't let you express yourself and be different. They're not looking for change. They're looking for shut up and do your job and be quiet and be responsible or be predictable. I guess I need to be responsible everywhere. But guess who did embrace the creativity and the desire for growth and improvement? Guess who embraced that? The new job, who saw my creativity in the first place and invited it in. They and they embraced my drive to do good. And what does James 4:17 say? For him that knows the good he ought to do and does not do it, it is sin. I was finally in an environment where they embrace my desire to do good, to make improvements. I was finally free of the prison. If Molly were here talking on this video right now, she would tell you how much it really meant for her and me and this family for that to happen, for that change to happen. Night shift was a pain. And you know what my boss said? Thank you, Paul. I think one of my favorite lines that he said was, Caleb, my job as the CEO. He said, my job as the CEO is to find good people, equip them, and get out of the way. You've shown good judgment in the past. I expect you to continue doing that. And I want to see you succeed. I want to see what you can do here. And I'm for you. So go do your thing, and I'm here to support you. That was incredible. What a great boss. What a boss to have. Thank you, Paul. Okay, back on track here. So, and if you fast forward about 6 years, you find my entry into real estate. Guess what? How that happened. I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Now, there was a lot of stuff going on in that 6 years, but Rich Dad, Poor Dad really was a life-changing book for me. Crazy talk. Assets versus liabilities, building equity long term. Like, you don't wait and buy real estate, you buy real estate and wait. So, let's see. One of my finish lines here is supposed to be, when I say I'm going to take down the due on sale clause, do you believe me? Oh, I need to have been sowing a clarity of vision and purpose here. I haven't really connected the dots. Need to connect the dots before what? When I say I've got, oh, I say this. What did I say? I've got clarity of vision, purpose. I'm ready to take action that sets me up for success. Okay, what I was trying to make a point of with this purpose, action, and success. Vision, purpose, action, and success. I think that's a great theme. I'm going to highlight these words. Vision, purpose, action, success. By the way, going back to the prison, you wouldn't believe how much of the story I'm leaving out. Like for the sake of time, like the pepper spray cell phone incident, like the gun that got smuggled into the prison, like the gun I had to draw on prisoners fighting in the street, like the inmate that ended up on the wall trying to do maintenance right outside my tower where I had firearms, like where was it? Like the story of the man who was so verbally abused that he hung himself, and it wasn't the right guy. The prisoners were verbally attacking somebody who wasn't even the right guy. You see, he was one of the guys that was accused of messing with children, and the inmates were harassing him, and this guy wasn't mentally like he wasn't all there. And this is such a sad story that I remember. this inmate not really mentally fit to be facing the challenges of dozens of men calling you names all day, every day, yelling at you, kill yourself, kill yourself, kill yourself, calling him lots of names. And it wasn't him that they thought they were talking to. They mixed somebody up. And this guy, slightly mentally not up to par, ended up taking his own life. How terrible. That was one of the stories. Um, there was a prisoner who tried to turn me, tried to offer me hundreds of dollars for a piece of trash watch, but that's what they were going to use to hold over me. The famous murderer I spent time with and got to interview and chat with. What an interesting experience. You learn a lot. The guy who painted his walls with poop. Yep, I could go on and on. Lots of stories working in prison. So that's fodder for the talk. Scrolling through, I'm looking for other content that I wrote that I can work in here. Ah, my themes. Before I get down to this spot here where I say, so when I say I'm going to take down the due on sale clause, do you believe me? That's really the capstone. It's at the bottom of my speech, but it goes on the cap of what you build up to. So, capstone statement. Shrinkage. We'll live with it. So that's really I want to set up a pivot here. My note structure is pretty, I wrote all this on the plane. So let me go back up to other stuff that I had. So the theme of my professional life has been finding opportunities to do good. And when I see opportunities to do good, I look around and I'm like, hey, somebody needs to do something. But this theme is that I'm the one that stands up. I have this I have this attitude that there is a better way. Now you're seeing me post some pretty raw thinking out loud content, but I've got to refine all of this into a meaningful speech. So I've been doing There Is a Better Way for a long time. Opened a consulting company for information security, but it was just me. I made lots of improvements at my first IT job and on the next job, etc. But I tend to bring people and invite them to join me in doing the great thing. Have I done a great job of vision casting in the past? I don't think so, but I need to get better. I do have a better why than the next person, though. So if you want to join me, we do good for good reasons. So I have this whole somebody needs to do something. Anybody? And I look around. Who's going to rise up and do something about this? Whenever there's an issue, when something's going wrong. Surely somebody who has already been there and done that and figured this stuff up can step up and do what's right. Right? You ever been there? You ever thought that? Who's going to stand up and do what's right? I'm not in a position to. I don't know how to do it right. Somebody's been there. Can somebody step up and do the right thing? Eh, maybe, maybe not. Nope. Turns out most of the time nobody does. So then guess what? Then I will. I'll do it. I will step up and I will figure things out. Not begrudgingly like, here we go again. But hey, this needs to happen. This is the moral right that must happen. And so I will step up and I will figure things out from zero because the people who have experience and didn't do what's right, didn't help others out, didn't turn around and give a hand up, have moved on and they're not helping me, they're not helping anybody. So I'll figure it out and I'll bring others with me and I'll teach along the way because I believe there is a better way. I know good that needs done and I cannot abdicate that moral duty. Where else can I go with this? So my notes say this has been a theme, but I didn't know it. Oh, that's a good point. So this has been a theme. Now that I look back recently, that's what keeps happening. Hey, I found a problem. Who can fix this? I know somebody's been there before. Anybody? Can you help me? Can anybody help me? Can anybody help other people? Crickets. Well, somebody needs to fix this. Somebody needs to stand up and step in. Nobody. Turns out I have a history of doing that. I've done it at almost every job I've touched, every community I join. I'm like, nope, there's a lot of things that need to improve here. Let me step in and fix and help. So I didn't know until I looked back. I had been, ooh, yeah, I'm not pivoting well into this conversationally. I need to make this work for my speech. But as I do that, I've been oppressed, I've been abandoned, I've been praised, I've been praised and then betrayed. I've cried many times when people that I came to love couldn't stand with me. They took my first call and joined me, like, yeah, let's do something great. This is incredible. We're helping people, we're improving things. And I've had people take things from me, take information, processes, things they're learning. And instead of turning around and helping me because they have an idea on how to monetize a service, they move on and they do it in secret. How shameful. So yeah, I've cried at the loss of friends, not because not because they succeeded and I didn't at something, but the fact that this unequal treatment, I'm helping you and you're not turning around and helping back. I don't understand it. How does this happen? People I called to do right with me and to be better and to do best, they've fallen away. It happens a lot. It's very disappointing because I come to love these people and it hurts because I thought they loved me, but it also hurts because they didn't have what it takes. And I hurt for them because it's sad to see a friend unable to do what they need to do. So it does hurt to be betrayed, but it also hurts for them. And I tried. I tried to help him and save him and bring him back and let's do things the right way and do it together, but I got to move on if they're not going to join me. So I'm on this path and I'm looking for the few. I'm looking for those who desire to do good, to be a part of something special, of changing things for the better, and of making an impact on the world through their work. So this is a call to join me. Join me. I want you to come with me. I want you to help spread the good. The industry I'm working is real estate. What I'm doing is helping people, sellers, agents, buyers, title companies, everybody involved. I'm raising the bar. I'm improving things. I'm making them better. I'm de-risking. So I want to be a part of your prison escape story. And I'm willing to be vulnerable and to share my heart and my vision and my hopes and my dreams. And I'm willing to let you in and to love you and to bear the heartache of more betrayals for the sake of finding the few that I'm really looking for. So join me, and I call you to the moral high ground. Let's do great things together. Are you ready to respond to that call to do better, to be better? You know what? I also recognize that I have not shed my last tears. I know there's more grief to come, and I know someone will tear my heart out for want of money or fame or because they were too weak to stay the course with me and to do the good. And I am a little scared for that, and I already hurt from it because I know it's going to happen. But that fear is not my prison. It's not in my character to stop. It's not in my character to be, I guess, smart enough to protect myself from being betrayed by people that I let in. I am very trusting. I'm too dumb to let people stop me. Praise God, because we're still going to do good. You're not going to get me down. You're not going to hold me down. So come with me, join me in doing good. Come hurt me if you must, and I will love you through it. Join me as I transform the real estate industry because I will rise up and I will do something about things. Whatever I touch, I raise the bar. Wherever I go, I hold a higher standard. I am a threat to many who like their comfort. I have this innate dissatisfaction with status quo. I'm always thinking there's got to be a better way. The new standard needs to be here, not where it's been. We need to raise the bar. We need to set the new standard higher. And right now, my world is real estate, so I'm raising the bar in real estate. Guess how I did that? I started teaching transaction coordination. Nobody rose up and said, "Oh, here's how to do it." I said, "You know what? I'm going to go figure this stuff out from the ground up, and I'm going to take on other people's deals, and I'm going to teach what I learn while I learn it." And I did that. I spent a whole year teaching for 2 hours in a real estate community every Saturday. One time, my wife served me vitamins, not knowing I didn't have breakfast, and it turned me like grayish green on air. By the end of 2 hours, I was ready to fall out of my chair. Gross. About to throw up. Haha. Funny stories. Anyway, that's what I was doing. I was improving things, improving the landscape, setting other people up for success. And some people took the information, ran off, and used it. Some people used it internally directly for their own benefit, which is good. I mean, I want to improve the landscape. I think I missed out on some business opportunities while I continued doing the base foundational work of how do we do things better? How do we get this stuff set up right? But that's where I'm at. I'm in real estate and I'm at transaction coordination. I have a company called Creative TC and we're doing deals better. We're doing contract write-ups. I just saw my email. 2 contract write-ups came in. We're going to help people put better wording on paper so they can get their deals done and have them enforceable and have them not challengeable because they said what they needed to say and didn't use vague language. And I'm going to help those people do transaction management. We're going to consult. We're going to help them make informed decisions. And we're going to provide post-closing guidance for when they get insurance on these sub-2 deals. We're here to help. We're here to do things better. And I've got a team of 13 people who have caught my vision and who are with me. So what's next? Next, I see a lot of people concerned about the due on sale clause. I've seen it called a fair amount lately. And the due on sale clause is a terror to people. Banks can come in and wreak havoc on people, investors and sellers. The borrower whose credit's on the line. The buyer who just wants to pay the mortgage on a monthly basis. They can really be messed up pretty bad. Now, on my speech here, I need to have some compelling talk that's much more concise. I'm just sounding it out. I'm just talking through it. Due on sale clause equals bad. And so I'm going to take down the due on sale clause because nobody else is stepping up to do it. I'm like, who can handle this? So I have fixed the due on sale clause 12 times at least. We fixed it. I'm becoming the due on sale guy. And now I'm going to offer a guarantee against the due on sale clause. My new company, DOSGuard. We're standing in the gap where we are improving the moral landscape because wholesalers are not going to be lying to sellers about, oh, you don't have to worry about that. Yeah, it is something to worry about, but guess what? We can transfer that risk. We can hand it off to somebody else. We pay a few dollars at closing, and due on sale clause isn't a giant stone hanging over our heads waiting to crush us. The banks hold no power. So, well, it's 1 a.m. Central, so I'm getting tired. So when I say I'm going to take down the due on sale clause, when you look back at my history, when you look back at my character, right now is when I've been standing up and saying, who's going to handle this? Who is out there who's willing to take this on? I will. I'll do it. Who's with me? Who needs this? Who wants this? Who wants to help me build it? You can help me build it by putting me on a podcast. You can help me build it by putting me in front of another live audience, training realtors. I need all sorts of resources, website builders, funnel builders, lead magnet builders, CRM experts. B2B sales person. I need all the things because it's a new business. Mm. All right, so I dabbled around here a bunch. Now I need to make an outline for my speech. Let's generate an outline from this content. I'm going to pull up a Google Doc. I wonder if you can see that Instagram. All right, how's this work? How's my outline work? Where do I start? I used to work in a prison. Do I really do an outline format? I'll outline it later. I used to work in a prison. How did I get there? Got one of the last spots before a hiring freeze. All right, this is too far zoomed in for me to work with. I'm gonna go 100, 115. That'll work. Gonna have to live with that. All right, I'll do sections like this, outline-wise. So I used to work in a prison. Pause. No, not work. I used to be in prison. A little catchy. How did I get there? I'm here today, but how did I get there? How did I get in prison? I was getting laid off construction. Desperate times call for desperate measures. So I applied to work at the prison, and I got one of the last spots before a hiring freeze. But don't let that fool you. I mean, it was not good. It was not a great place to be. And I wasn't there for the best reason. But it was a blessing. So, in the prison, I learned a lot. I got bit. I saw a guy paint his walls with poop. I saw people hang themselves. I saw fights. I had to draw a gun. I saw a gun smuggled into the prison. Lots of things happened. Crazy. Just insane. I learned a lot about communication. It was very stressful. Ended up having to work night shift. It was not good for my family life. All right, so in this goes situations. I was bit. Had to pull a gun. What else did I just say? I was bit. Had to pull a gun. Heard more foul language in any on any given day than the rest of my life combined. it's really not a great place to be. Between staff and inmates, nah, don't want to be there. Hmm. Had to work night shift. Bad for my family. Very stressful. Oppressive. Creativity unwelcome. Which kills me. Man, I have the hardest part of my job sometimes was staying awake at night, and that's terrible for me. All right, some more stuff there. Situations. Not a great place to be. And one day, I updated my email signature. See, I memorized the book of James. I don't have the whole thing memorized anymore. Don't ask me. I could probably rattle off chapter 1. And I can quote throughout, and I know when somebody's reading it, I can finish their quotes, but I can't recall it all offhand. And so I got a new favorite book, new verse. James 4:17. For if anyone knows the good he ought to do and does not do it, for him it is sin. I might have too many fours in there. Let's check. I go with not New no, in ESV. Where's my ESV? CSB is pretty good actually, but SV. So whoever knows the right thing to do and fails to do it, for him it is sin. That's not the version I remember memorizing. That's ESV? I gotta make sure I get that. Well, let me go back to NIV and see. Now I'm all cattywampus. NIV. It is sin for them, for him it is sin. Well, anyone then knows the good they ought to do and doesn't do it, it is sin for them. That wasn't the wording. I'm gonna have to look and see which version that was. Google Docs. Check versions for him. If anyone knows the good he ought to do. Find whichever version is closest to that, because that's the one I wrote in my email. Okay, so I updated my email signature. And soon after, dude, the toxic work environment, you learn to copy people just to blind carbon copy supervisors all the time. What a petty environment. Soon after, a supervisor, shift captain. I was really trying to take that verse to heart and do the most good. And reminding myself and others that if you know the right thing to do and you don't do it, that's a problem. Not only is it sinful to do bad, but it's sinful to fail to do good when you know you ought to do it. That's a point that I wanted to make to people. Well, guess what my supervisor had to say? He said, "Hey, you can't say that. This is a prison. This is a government job. It's not a place to express yourself. Slow down. You can't be doing anything special or different here. We're just that's not how it works." All right, so I need to type that. You can't say that. This is a government job. We can't bring religion into it. And you sure can't tell people they're sinning. I do remember that. It was something like you sure can't be accusing of people of sin. This is not the place to express yourself. You need to fit in, normalize. It was something along those lines. Conform, not be an individual. It was pretty thematic there. You need to conform. You see, it's oppressive in prison, not just for the inmates. If you're not careful, they'll get you down. That system is built to hold you down, to keep you in. To contain you, not just your body, but to contain you from expressing yourself. Who in here wants to be contained? Me neither. Me neither. Think about that. They essentially said you can't be you in prison. And if I want to be good and it doesn't match their definition of normal and conformance, then I can't be you. You can't be you. I can't be me. But what does the good book say? For him that knows the good he ought to do and does not do it, for him it is sin.
in. And I realized then that I would never be able to do all the good I ought to do with. They're not going to empower me. They're not going to stand behind me. They're not going to support me. I'll be left on my own when I stand up for what's right. Oh, yeah, one of those stories, prison stories, was a guy who ended up in prison himself. I knew he was a bad apple. Stalked other people. Stalked this girl. She got a restraining order on him, and he continued stalking her. He went to jail. What an idiot! Those were my coworkers, and I had reported him for plenty of stuff. And it's a government job, and they're not really a great place to be in the first place. But they wouldn't stand for it for things either. It's terrible. So I already know they're not going to stand behind me. What a shame. Right back to my speech. I'm anchoring my story with prison. All right, so I realized I'll be on my own when they stand up for what's right. So what's a guy to do? Let's see what we can do here. We're not doing turning point. This is audience check. Who here has been? You don't say who here. You say have you. You're talking to each person in the audience individually. You're not talking to a crowd. You're talking to individual, a bunch of individuals. In a room of 30 people, I'm having 29 conversations at the same time. I'm leading the conversation, but it is 29 conversations, not one with 29 people, 29 conversations, one with each. was trapped. His whole career. System. Guys, I'm getting so tired. I don't think I'm going to finish this. Get done with the first section, but I've got a long ways to go. All right, y'all. I'm falling asleep at the wheel. Good night. Catch you next time. Got a good start.